Hello, friends. Welcome back to Amanda's Bookish Adventures, and it is my May TBR. May the binge be with you. So, as the title for the TBR suggests, I want to binge a bunch of books. So, I have a bunch of series here, some that I did not get out of my room because I was lazy, to be honest. But this is 25, so that's pretty good. So, either we're going to be binging books, binging backlist books from authors, or books that have been on my mind for a very long time. Books off my Kindle, books I have on Audible. The whole month of May will be binging. So you watched the January TBR. I did not finish, didn't even start any of those books, but I was wrong. I remember I finished one, or I caught up. I finished started, and I'm waiting for the third book. But that's what inspired all of this as well. But let's talk about the first series. I want to read Can't Spell Treason Without Tea, a cozy fantasy steeped with love, book 1 through 4. I have them right there and I'll show you, but I want to read the back of this. All Raina and Kenneth wanted is to open a bookstore that serves tea while firelight drifts between the rafters, but Rena works as one of the Queen's private guards and Kenneth is the most powerful mage in existence. Leaving their lives isn't so easy, but after an assassin takes Rena hostage, she's decided she's thoroughly done risking her life for a self-centered queen. Meanwhile, Kenneth has been waiting for a chance to flee responsibility. All the better than her girlfriend is on board. Together, they settle in a tawny town nestled in the icy tundra near Dragon Country and open the shop of their dreams. What follows is a cozy tale of mishap, mysteries, and a murderous queen throwing the realm's biggest temper tantrum, while these two women discover just what they mean to each other and the world. Book 1. Me trying to move things around so I don't lose them. These might be out of order. We have A Pirate's Life for Tea. I think this, so this is book 2. Book 3, To You at the Altar. Alchemy and a Cup of Tea, book 4. And that finishes up that series. And I have been wanting to read them for a long time. And especially since this month is about binging, why not binge the whole series and get it off my TBR? These are, I don't think they're connected, but they're all 3 from the same author, and I'd love to binge them all. Let me talk about the oldest book I've had by her. Raiders of the Lost Heart by Joe Segarra. Archaeologist Dr. Socorro Corey Meja, okay, I'm just going to say Corey, has a bone to pick. Literally, it's been Corey's life goal to lead an expedition deep in the Mexican jungle in the search of the long lost remains of her ancestor Chimeli, an ancient warrior of the Aztec Empire. When she's invited to join an all expense paid to dig to do just that, Corey's sure it's to be too good to be true. And she's right. As the world's most renowned expert on Chimeli, Corey should be, by rights, leading this quest, not sharing her glory with her disgustingly handsome nemesis. But Dr. Ford Matthews has been finding new ways to best her since they were in grad school. Ford isn't thrilled either. With his life in shambles, the last thing he needs is a reminder of their rocky past. But as the dig begins, it becomes clear they need to work together. A thief is lurking around their campsite, forcing the pair to keep the discoveries and their lingering traction under wraps. With money-hungry artifact smugglers, the Mexican authorities, and the lies between them closing in, there's only one way this all ends: explosively. These might be out of order too, but we have The Temple of Swoon by Joe Siwa. I think that's how you say her last name. While her mentor may be the world's bad, most badass archaeologist, the only thing about Dr. Miriam Jacobs are her corny jokes. When Miri is charged with leading an unmapped expedition through the Amazon to discover the fabled lost city of the moon, she finally has her chance to prove to her colleagues that she's capable and hopefully proving it to herself too. Journalist Raphael Monfils has joined the archaeology team to chronologue the search for the lost city, or at least that's what they think he's doing. Rafa's real goal: make sure the team does not reach the Sida Balua, stopping the desecration of the holy city and protecting his mother's legacy. All he needs to do is keep them on the wrong path. If only the endearing, quirky Dr. Jacobs wasn't so damn tedious. Each of Rafa's tricks and purposeful wrong turns only seem to fuel her determination. Even worse, he's charmed by Miri's goofy attempts to channel Laura Croft as they traverse the dangerous Brazilian rainforests. But they're not the only crew hunting for the lost city, and soon the untamed jungle and their untamed hearts might be the least of their worries. And then we have the newest one that I got this year, The Last Crusades by Joe Siwa. Daniela, I'm not going to even try to pronounce the last name, has been in love with her brother's best friend Theo for as long as she can remember, until he went missing over a year ago during an archaeology expedition. But on a solo trip to Greece, the interpretant librarian discovers that Theo is very much alive. Although judging by the criminals holding him hostage, he is not doing well. An expert in Greek archaeology, Dr. Theo Glamis was abducted by artifact smuggling in search of the priceless gemstone, the Eye of the Minotaur. This ridiculous assignment was supposed to get Danny out of his system, not keep her tied up next to him. But when a little white lie has his captors believing that Theo and Danny are engaged, the couple must utilize her research skills and his expertise to solve the millennium-old Minion mystery, all while feigning a romance to keep each other alive. With 6 days to find the jewel, underground societies, mythological beings, and pesky abductors are only half the battle, because among the ancient ruins and temples, they explore an even bigger danger: falling in love for real. So I definitely want to get those read this May. So I have Thrown in the Dark by A.K. Congens, and then I have the sequel, Summon to the Wilds, and this was just released, but I want to at least I want to attempt to read it. I don't know when the third book is coming out, if there is a third book, but I want to. It's been on my mind since I've gotten this one. Dark Lord, Demon Spawn, prophesized realm destroyer. With a demon for a father, Damon Malthus Bloodthorn destiny could be nothing but nefarious. With the completion of his most vicious spell, Damon is on the cusp of fulfilling the evil inevitably all his dark machinas have led to, and then her, bubbly, obnoxious, blonde, harboring secrets of her own, a tiny, troublesome thief calling herself Amena, completely upsets Damon's malevolent plans for while she mistakenly gets chained to his side through magic, forcing him to drag across the realm. Killing her would fix things, of course, but the nauseating sweet Amena proves herself useful in Damon's unholy crusade, and then proves herself the more source of something even more sinister: feelings. Will Damon be forced to abandon his villainous birthright to help the tender thorn in his side? Or will he manage to overcome the virtue Amena insists on inspiring and instead cut it out at the heart? I've been wanting to read that forever. So we have A Kiss of the Basilisk by Lindsay Strode, and I think that's the first one. I need to check to see if there is a third one. But even if there is a third one, I would like to at least attempt to read it in the month of May. We have the second one, Between Two Kings by Lindsay Strub. Tem couldn't imagine a stranger duo, the formidable Basilisk and the human prince, both powerful in their own right, but they couldn't be more different from each other. 20-year-old Tempress Venus has never been kissed, but that's what the Basilisk is for. Along with 13 other contestants, Tem must train with the Basilisk to learn the power of seduction and with the prince's hand in marriage. When Tem is matched with Caspian, the Serpent King, she realizes she might actually stand a chance. But with tensions rising between the Basilisk and the humans, Tem is suddenly torn in two different directions. As her bond with Caspian deepens, so does her connection with the prince. When she uncovers a terrible secret about the royal family, Tem finds she herself caught between two worlds, neither of which she can survive without. So that I've had for a while, and it just sounds super amazing that I want to get my hands on it. So the third book in the Empress, I don't know if it's called the Tarot series, but the third book in this series. I'm going to be right back. Sorry for the interruption. It sounded like someone was trying to come into my house, and the living room is like right there. This wall shares the living room wall. So I had to like triple check just to make sure no one was trying to break in, even though the doors are locked. It sounded like someone was coming in. So where was I? We have, I think it's called the Tarot series by Kristen Cass. So I have the Empress and the Lovers. So the third book comes out, and this is what inspired one of the things I really wanted to binge. I think it'd just be so much fun to read them back to back. What happens when a 23-year-old woman stumbles into a world of magic, mystery, and one ridiculously hot, broody hero? She breaks all the rules, obviously. Hannah has always played by the book until a tarot card reading goes sideways and drops her into a world where magic is real. Dangers lurk in the shadows, and men look like they stepped out of a fantasy novel. Case in point, Kane, the kingdom's gruff yet infuriating, gorgeous protector who claims Hannah's arrival isn't an accident. Apparently, she's the key to saving his realm from ruin. Hannah's priorities? Get her tarot card back, find a way home. Absolutely do not fall for the battle scarred warrior. I have cotton mouth. Like, I went to go get some water while I was up, and I swear my mouth is so dry. Who makes her want to forget all her plans? But as the palace secrets unravel, enemies close in, the line between duty, desire blurs, and if Hannah wants to return her world, she'll have to embrace the magic inside her and trust the one man who makes her question everything. So that's book one. Book two is a different couple. One enchanted tarot card, two infernally hot men, and a modern woman refuses to be anyone's damsel. Gemma Summers is broke, burnt out, and about 3 weeks from moving back in with her parents. Her career has imploded, her confidence circling the drain. The last thing she needs to run is a run in with Alden Hawke, the dangerously charming ex who still haunts her dreams and could buy her new life with his pocket change. When a magical tarot card sends them spiraling literally into another realm, the land in a steampunk expired kingdom of cups, Gemma is forced to rely on the man who shattered her trust, who broke her heart, and somehow still makes her weak in the knees. But the survival in the world of the Towerfall is anything but simple. Escape when she's caught between the ex who wants to own her and a ruggishly former king who sees through every one of her defenses. With secrets mounting, identities unraveling, and her heart very much on the line, Gemma must decide, who will she cling to? Will she cling to the version of herself she built in the real world, or risk everything to become the woman she was always meant to be? So the third book is coming out, I think, towards the end of the May. So that might be like a good reading vlog, just to read them all back to back, discuss like favorite couple, and go from there. So this is a spoiler from the book haul, but that is okay. So I want to read the Red Queen series. I'm not going to show all the books, even though they're right there. I think I'll save that for the book haul. But we have Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. Power is dangerous. Power is a dangerous game. Mara Barrow's world is divided by blood. Those with red and those with silver. Mara, it's like M-A-R, it's like Mare. With her family are the lowly Reds, destined to serve the silver elite, whose supernatural abilities make them nearly godly. Nearly gods. When Mare accidentally discovers a power of her own she didn't know she had, the Silver King is forced to hide the possibility of her power and pretend she's a long-lost silver princess betrothed to one of his sons. Soon Mare is drawn into the silver world, where loyalty and desire can tear you apart. And the only certainty is betrayal, and before long her actions put motion a deadly and violent dance, pitting prince against prince and Mare against her own heart. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Alright. I have been waiting for the end of this duology. And there's another one that I've been waiting for. But I think the second one, which is the one I'm holding, I think this got released. I don't know when. Just going to see publishing date. Yeah, so this got released in 2025, so I definitely want to read. And it's a Mulan retelling, which I have been consuming retellings and cozy books lately, so I'm excited to get more on here. The Night Ends with Fire by KX Song. Raised to obey, destined to rebel. The three kingdoms are at war, but Maylane's father refuses to answer the imperial draft. Trapped by his opium addiction, he plans to sell Maylene for her dowry. But when Maylene discovers her husband-to-be is another violent, ill-tempered man, she realizes that nothing will change for her unless she takes matters into her own hands. The next day, she just disguises herself as a boy and enlists in her father's place. In the army, Maylene's relentless hard work brings her recognition, friendship, and growing closeness with Sky, a prince turning training partner. But has she simply exchanged one prison for another? As her kingdom barrels towards destruction, Maylene begins to have visions of a sea dragon spirit who offers her true power and freedom at a deadly price. With the balance of the three kingdoms hanging in the balance, Maylene will need to decide whom to trust: Sky, who inspires her loyalty and love, the sea dragon spirit, who has his own murky agenda, or an infinitely troubling enemy prince who makes her question everything she once knew about her kingdom and about her heart. So I definitely would love to read that duology. I'm only going, even though I have the whole trilogy, I'm only going to hold this one up and talk about it because my cotton mouth is getting really bad and I put chapstick on and maybe I dehydrated myself. I have no idea. Even though I drink tons of water, I just need to rest my voice. The brightest star needs the darkest night. Asteria is a prisoner of her own mind, the past sliding from her grasp like water, but she knows she must escape the cruel arms that hold her captive and find her clouding memories once again. The quest leads her to liberate them, a successful trials hosted by the king in which 5 humans land to complete for a cycle of safety from the vampires seeking blood, claiming souls and savaging after dark. But even the winning, the Litarian will not keep Estrella safe from vampires. She made a bargain with the beautiful and deadly knight who stalks her dreams and haunts her waking hours. He promises to keep her safe, but she knows she cannot trust him, cannot trust his lies, even as she finds herself drawing deeper and deeper into a seduction brace. Caught between night and her own mysteries, Estrella must decide if winning the Libertatum for I know I'm mispronouncing so much for her kingdom is worth life or protection, and the answers to her past really are her strongest desires. So we have a Nightfall novel. I believe it's a trilogy, and I might just hold them up. The, the entire trilogy. So I'd like to get that done. In total, all of that, plus the stuff I have not shown you because I was too lazy to get it, all right here is 25 books. So if I can finish 25 physical books in the month of May, I will be happy. If I can at least finish 15 of these books, I'll be happy with that too. If I can finish a series, the duology and the trilogy, and the Red Queen series, or even if I just finished, let's just say half of the physical books off this TBR, I will be so happy to get them knocked out and finished and then binge some more different stuff. I have no idea. That is my TBR for the month of May. If you've read any of these things, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you have recommendations of series that I should binge in the month of May, if I have time, I'd love to get to them. But that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.